Break the board sports. I'm your boy RJ Cash here, breaking down college football this coming week. Week 6 in college football. We're going to hit all the Thursday, Friday games, take you through all the betting trends analysis. Click that like, hit subscribe. Again, Break the Board Sports, its whole engine, its whole desire is to help you become a better handicapper. Yes, you go to our website, breaktheboardsports.com. You can sign up, get all of our plays across all sports for only $1.37 a day. But what this show is more giving you betting trends, angles, not giving you over information, just enough for you to be able to look at and bet your own games. Not a lot of jargon, not a lot of personal thoughts and this and that and the other. Those are personal opinions. They don't really help your handicapping because you could listen to 100 different people and still be at the same spot you were when you started looking at a game, nowhere. So this is about trends, angles, actual statistical stuff, and to help you become a better handicapper. To become a better handicapper, I always say this, is always write down your opening lines. So when you have a game, go down through and write what you think the line should be based off of your own thoughts, and then you can compare it. As always, also, please excuse my two dogs. They hate postmen, squirrels, and Amazon, so you may hear them at certain points in time. Let's hop right into it. Let's get the betting splits pulled up. Go down college football. Thursday night, we're going to start there. Sam Houston State at New Mexico State will be the matchup in this one. Now, very interesting game here in the fact that you got New Mexico State that is 2-2, Sam Houston State that is 0-4, but yet Sam Houston State is the favorite in this one, laying 2.5 on the road. You're over under 52.5. Now, with that 2.5, 64% of tickets and 73% of the handle is on New Mexico State, the home dog, coming off their loss to New Mexico. Sam Houston grabbing 36% of tickets, 27% of the handle in this one. When you dive in a little deeper, look at some trends. Sam Houston State, 2-9 against the spread their last 11 games. Remember, they just hopped up to D1 level here in the past few years, but they've been over machines. Remember that over under 52.5, 60% of tickets, 65% of the handle on the over. Sam Houston State has clicked to the over 4 of the last 5 games. Sam Houston State just 1-4 straight up their last 5, but even worse, not a very good road team. 0-6 against the spread, their last 6 on the road. New Mexico State hasn't been that much better. They're just 1-4 ATS over their last 5 and 4-11 straight up their last 15. Just absolutely brutal here in that department. However, New Mexico State is 12-5 against the spread in their last 17 games at home. So last 17-5, 12-5 ATS in those. Last year, these two teams hooked up in Sam Houston State, a game Sam Houston State won 31-11. Last time in New Mexico State, the year before, 2023, New Mexico State got the 27-13 win. My lean would be if you could get New Mexico State +3 here. I think that would be a good way to go. Again, if you could get the 3, I think that's the way to lean in that. Offensively, Sam Houston State's averaging 269 yards per game compared to New Mexico State that's averaging 302 yards a game. New Mexico State, they're only putting up 18.5 points per game. That puts them 120th in the country. But hey, never fear. Ranked 129th is Sam Houston State, 16.2. You put them together, that's 34 points a game. And the over-unders at 52.5. Defensively, New Mexico State gives up 26 points per game. Sam Houston State giving up 42.8, ranked 134th, almost the worst defense in the country. Again, New Mexico State +3 would definitely be my lean in this one. Next game, I think it's going to be sneaky interesting. Not going to be on a lot of people's radar, but shift to Friday night. Western Kentucky, a team people are very familiar with over the past couple of years, been a really solid team. They'll travel to Delaware, newcomers to Division I football. Delaware right now is laying 2.5. You're over under 61.5. And the betting splits here on Monday showing us a lot. Delaware taking 68% of the bets 89% of the handle. Remember, another tool for your handicapping. Doesn't matter if it's 10%, 20%, 30%, 35%. You got to decide when the amount of money is lower than that, whatever your threshold is, you're automatically taking that side. And you say, well, why would I do that if I don't like the game? Again, handicapping and betting, you got to take personal feelings out of it, guys. You got to follow money. You got to follow trends. People always talk about, oh, but what about this injury? It's already baked into the line. Vegas beat you there a long time ago. You're good. Forget the injuries. Injuries mean nothing. It means nothing to the line because Vegas has already adjusted that line before it's happened. So you're good to go. So when you look at this, with Delaware, 68% of tickets, 89% of the money, only 32% of bets, and 11% of the handle going to Western Kentucky. The over-under, another discrepancy. Remember, when you have a low ticket count, but a higher handle, typically, not always, that shows sharps. If you have a high ticket total, but lower money, that shows your average Joes. Well, never more evident here. Only 39% of tickets going to the over. However, 90% of the money here on Monday is to the over. 61% of tickets to the under. However, that only accounts for 10% of the money. So we'll see how that flows as the week goes. Again, you tons of places you can get your betting splits, or you can follow us here, breaktheboardsports.com. You're always welcome to send an email. I try to answer as many questions as I can. breaktheboardsports@gmail.com. Shoot me an email, and I'll try to answer whatever questions I can. Western Kentucky, 4-1 ATS their last 5 games, along with 4-1 straight up in that time frame. Western Kentucky games have went over the total 6 of the last 9 contests, but for Delaware, it's cashed to the under 4 of the last 6. Delaware just 4-12 straight up their last 16 games, despite being a favorite here. Now, Western Kentucky, 15-2 straight up their last 17 games, and where they've had to face a Conference USA foe. Again, Western Kentucky 4-1 on the season and 4-1 ATS. Delaware 3-1 on the season, 2-1-1 ATS. These two teams have never hooked up. When you look at them offensively and defensively, Western Kentucky putting up about 448 yards per game offensively. Delaware 424. Defensively, Western Kentucky giving up 387 yards per game. Delaware giving up 407. So very comparable here between the two teams. Western Kentucky, they are ranked 43rd in the country, putting up 35 points per game. Ranked 67th in the country, putting up 31 points per game is the Blue Hens of Delaware. Defensively, Western Kentucky ranked 59th in the country. They're giving up 22.6 points per game. Delaware only giving up 26.2. So two very, very even teams here for this game on Friday night with the Blue Hens hosting the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky. Probably going to be a stay away. If I had to do something here, maybe look to tease Western Kentucky in a 6-pointer, get them up to plus 8.5. If the line went to 3, it might entice me for Western Kentucky, but I like the plus 3 much better with New Mexico State. Not sure if I'm going to have anything on either game. Again, those are just the leans as to where nothing's really popped out at me here on a Monday. We'll look as I keep handicapping down through the week. South Florida laying 27.5 to Charlotte. South Florida taking 53% of the bets, but only 15% of the handle. Charlotte taking 47% of tickets, but only 85% of the handle. Your over-under sets at 54.5 in this one. Right now, Charlotte, 3-7 straight up their last 10 games. South Florida, 7-3 straight up their last 10 at home. 4-1 straight up their last 5 overall, as well as going 4-1 ATS in their last 5. The over is cashed 6 of the last 8, and the over is cashed 7 of the last 8 for Charlotte on the road. So there's some over trends there that may make that 54.5 more enticing for you. The total has also gone over 10 of the last 15 games that the Charlotte has played in. When you dive in As far as head-to-head matchups between these two teams, they've played the last 2 years. Both of them, South Florida dominated 59-24 last year, 48-14 the week before. Again, when you get these big spreads, it's really hard to make a case or a lean either way. Just going to be a stay away from me for sure. Again, if you want to look at this game, make sure you cover all the bases. 3-1, both win straight up and ATS is South Florida. 1-3, both straight up and ATS is Charlotte. Make sure you're looking at your look aheads, what's on tap next week for South Florida, stuff like that. But again, when you get these big, massive spreads, I'm just out on them. New Mexico at San Jose State promises to be a very interesting game. Right now, San Jose State's laying 3, but they're only getting 32% of bets and 17% of the handle. 68% of tickets and 83% of the handle going to the way of the New Mexico Lobos. New Mexico 5-2 ATS their last 7 games compared to a San Jose State team. Listen to these two against the spread trends. 4-9 against the spread the last 13 games for San Jose State. 1-6 against the spread their last 7 at home. Just absolutely brutal. New Mexico State 5-2 ATS their last 7 and 5-2 straight up in that same time frame. But against San Jose State, hasn't treated the Lobos very well. They're 0-7 the last 7 meetings against San Jose State. So head-to-head, New Mexico 0-7 ATS against San Jose State, their last 7 matchups. New Mexico comes into this 3-1 straight up and 3-1 ATS. Spartans of San Jose State 1-3 straight up, 2-2 ATS. The last time these two teams met, 2023, San Jose State got the better of them at New Mexico, 52-24. When you look in, 391 yards of offense per game for New Mexico, 400 yards per game offensively for San Jose State. Defensively, the Lobos giving up about 367 yards per game. Almost 50 yards a game more are the Spartans giving up, 422 per game. New Mexico, their offense been very potent, ranked 68th in the country so far. They're averaging 30.5 points per game. San Jose State, that's about 10 points more better as San Jose State, only averaging 20 per game. Really struggled, lost that heartbreaker to Stanford this past week. New Mexico's defense giving up 21.5 points per game. A whole touchdown more is the Spartans at 28 here. Early lean is New Mexico +3. If I get a 3.5, I'd really like New Mexico. Also, I think New Mexico is live for a teaser play if you look for them here. Again, click that like, hit subscribe, giving you trends, breakdowns, give you some leans, right? But again, trying to give you more stuff, quick hitter betting notes, not a lot of jargon, stuff to help you become a better handicapper. Also, Friday night, BYU, West Virginia. West Virginia making the trip out west. BYU laying 19.5. You're over under 47.5. Right now, 64% of tickets on the Cougars, 84% of the handle on the Cougars as well. For West Virginia, 36% of tickets, 16% of the handle. But the over-under here is what's got my attention. It's set at 47.5 with 88% of tickets and 97% of the handle to the over. Only 12% of tickets and 3% of the handle to the under. So the under 47.5, not saying I'm taking it. I just want to keep an eye on it as the week goes on and see if those splits alter a little bit. BYU 4-0 straight up, 3-1 against the spread. West Virginia 2-3, both straight up and against the spread. West Virginia just 2-5 straight up its last 7, compared to BYU 6-0 straight up their last 6 and 7-1 straight up their last 8 at home. BYU just an extremely tough place to play, altitude and all that. They're 4-1 ATS their last 5. West Virginia has not played well against Big 12 foes, going just 1-4 ATS, but the over has cashed 8 of the last 11. BYU, more of an under team. Again, remember I told you keep an eye on that under. 4 of the last 5 games the Cougs have played, that under's cashed 4 of the last 5. And guess what? 4 of the last 5 games overall for West Virginia, it's cashed to the under. So definitely some stuff to look at there. West Virginia coming off their drumming at home, 48-14 to Utah. Colorado is who BYU snuck past there as they got the win, 24-21 against Colorado. Coach Prime and company putting up a good fight. These two teams met 2 years ago in West Virginia. West Virginia walked the dog 37-7. So that game would have got under this total for you. When you look at the numbers offensively, 395.6 yards per game for West Virginia, 436 yards per game for BYU. West Virginia's defense giving up about 364 yards per game. BYU's defense, rock solid, especially at home, 227 yards per game. So let's look at the offense. West Virginia, they're averaging 22 points per game. As Coach Spurrier used to say, not very good. 38.5 points per game for BYU. They're 24th in the country in offense. West Virginia is going to have their hands full. They have the 91st ranked defense, giving up 26.5 points per game, as to where BYU defensively, they're ranked 4th in the country, 9.2 points per game for BYU here. Again, I want to see how that over-under moves. It actually just moved to 48, so a lot on the over. We'll see if it starts to tick up. Again, that would be the only thing I looked at here. 19.5, way too much for me to lay, and I don't trust West Virginia on the road. Again, would have to look at what's on tap, and we can do that right now. Kind of see, all right, well, what do we got going ahead of us the following week for both BYU and for West Virginia? Give me just a second, refresh that for you. Excuse me. So BYU and West Virginia the following week. BYU's got a big game at Arizona. All right, big game at Arizona. So a little edge for West Virginia as far as that goes. West Virginia, they will be on the bye. Okay, so maybe a little bit there. I would say maybe I'd look at West Virginia if I got over the 21.5 mark. If I got to that 21.5 mark, might be something I look at. But right now, the only thing I'm focused on is that under. I want to see where that falls. Last game for Thursday and Friday slate, again, weekday college football breakdown. Colorado State and San Diego State. San Diego State, just a stinker. They got past Northern Illinois this week, 6-3. If you watch that game, God bless you. You'd want to poke your eyeballs out, set the game back 80 years. Colorado State, 1-4 straight up their last 5. San Diego State, 3-7 straight up their last 10. Neither team has been very good. Head-to-head, San Diego State 4-2 against the spread the last 6 versus the Rams. Rams 2-7 straight up their last 9 versus San Diego State. So San Diego State has really had the upper hand, taking 7 of the last 9 contests outright. Colorado State 1-5 against the spread the last 6 versus the Aztecs. Now 2 unders here. When these two teams match up, the under is cashed 10 of the last 15 games, and the under is cashed 4 of the last 5 games that San Diego State has played in at home. Right now, your line sets 5.5 for San Diego State and over under 38.5. That's crazy under. 5.5 right now, 82% of tickets, 94% of handle on San Diego State. Only 18% of bets and 16% of the handle to Colorado State. The over 38.5 is again 75% of tickets, 25% of tickets to the under 38.5. The handle's pretty much split. Again, got to keep an eye on that as the week goes, kind of see where it falls. Colorado State 1-3 straight up, 2-2 ATS. San Diego State 3-1 straight up, 3-1 ATS for them. Last year, these two teams, 2023 was the last time they hooked up. That was at Colorado State, a game in which Colorado State won by 3. Last time they were in San Diego State, you got to go back to 2020. So not a whole lot you can really grab from that to help you in your handicapping. It's not like they play every year. Colorado State averaging 344 yards a game, 316 yards a game offensively for San Diego State. The Rams of Colorado State giving up 356 yards per game. San Diego State's defense, 12th in the country, giving up 239.8 points per game. Offensively, been a struggle. I think it's going to be a buzzsaw struggle for them again for Colorado State. They're ranked 131st in the country, giving up 15.2 points per game. That's going to be hard to get that number to raise up, considering San Diego State has the 6th best defense in the country only giving up 9.8 yards per game. San Diego State's offense, the one good thing is their offense doesn't score a lot either. So they're in the same boat as Colorado State, 23.8, but Colorado giving up about 14 points more per game at 23. Again, if you wanted to do something, we were talking about teaser with a couple of the other ones. Maybe you get San Diego State just to win with a New Mexico, or San Diego State just to win with a Western Kentucky, but not a whole lot looking at. So leans, again, no official plays. None of these games really jump out at me, but I wanted to give you guys trends and angles. New Mexico State, if I got a 3, I would like that. Western Kentucky and New Mexico, I could see in a teaser. I could see New Mexico if I got a 3.5. I don't think it'll get there whatsoever. It's at 3 right now. I would have to buy it. I think that line's actually going to end up going down more before it goes up the way I wanted to. The over-under 48, I'm curious about that with BYU and West Virginia looking to an under. It would probably have to get to 50 for me to bite, but something definitely look at there. Again, I'm your boy, RJ Cash, breaktheboardsports.com. We put out minimum three videos a day. Check out our Monday Night Football show, breaking down Jets, Dolphins, Bengals, Broncos, bunch of free play in that one. Our Monday morning quarterback, breaking down this past weekend, kind of giving some thoughts and stuff. Tomorrow is big. First thing in the morning, you're going to have the MLB playoff breakdown. Each and every day for baseball, you get a handicapping video to help you become a better handicapper, help you make decisions on your own bets. Yes, I give leans. Yes, you can go sign up, breaktheboardsports.com, $37 a day, but it's more about helping you in your handicapping. I think everybody should get to a point where we handicap our own stuff, take in information to help you handicap, not take in people's opinions. Those are two completely different things. Also, NBA and NHL coming up, and college hoops. So you're going to end up having 2 football shows a day, and NBA and NHL and MLB and maybe a college basketball. You're just going to have so much content got to get through. Again, making sure we cover every sport, helping you. Again, click that like, hit subscribe. God bless you today, and happy handicap.